Morning, Gerard. A bit of delay coming in here. Just finished the meeting a bit late there.
Roger, good morning.
Good morning. Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen.
You've learned that. Roger, I want to go on video. May I? Can you do it, or must I do it?
You want me to stop the share and you want to share, is that correct?
No. Yeah, I just, if I switch on my video here, start video, will you see me?
Oh, okay. I should do. Just a second. Just open that up a bit. Oh, hang on. Now we're getting technical here. Right. Yeah. Just a second. Get this out of the way. Gotcha.
Have you got me?
Yeah. Hey, he's handsome buggy husband, eh?
Today is my birthday.
Oh, right.
And my birthday wish is at least one good trade to make profit for everybody today. I am 70 years old today.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Sean.
I like it. Okay, no pressure, but see if we can have that. See if we can have
yes, for everybody.
Brilliant.
Okay, thanks. You can take my video away now. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I away now? Thank you, Gerard.
Is that right? Okay, sure. Anyway, I managed to do it. Okay. By geluk. Okay, good stuff. All right, well, hope this is going to be one then. Talking about happy birthday here. To be fair, I think it was sent out. It was my idea about 20 minutes ago at 9120 to see on the screen, so that'll be a pending. It slipped a little bit below that. I don't know if anyone's taken the order or if you received it or whatever. Has it been sent out at all? If I don't send it out, it's the company that sends it out. Have it,
Come on.
Morning. Not yet. Okay. Right. Let's just drop down a bit. So we've got a pending in there for 9120. Just show what I mean. It's just come off a little bit, which we wanted to do, but as long as you're on board, yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's the order there. She's pending. 9120 was up there just now, so I think there was a pending. Yeah. You're chasing a little bit for Go Instant. See what I mean? So preferably on the pending. Okay, really good chase of a wider TP or whatever. I don't want to lower the stop. We've had a couple of problems just the last few days where winning trades have been stopped out because a bit tight in the stop loss, and then it's come off and done well. A classic example: US dollar, Swiss franc. So let these guys in here. I still prefer the pending at 9120. Put it back in again. I'm just going to mute you guys. Some bit of background noise there. Or as usual, unmute. I'll unmute you if you want to speak. There we are. Okay, right. So yeah, I see that as around 50 minutes. Sorry, beg your pardon. I see a trade there. What's this here? Okay, I see a trade there, but for Arista, we'll prefer the 9120. The problem is the stop loss, not the TP. I'm not too worried about that, but I don't want the stop loss too close. I don't want it down there. I want it above these guys here. Make sense? Okay, so what do you think of that? Hi, Sean. Yeah, that's been a while actually. A good point there. It doesn't seem that long. Time goes so damn quick, unfortunately. It's about a month or so. That's all. Morning. So, what do you think, guys? It should have been sent out. So, obviously, the others agreed with it. The point is, do you agree with it? Oh, so you're happy with that card? Okay. So yeah, see if you can pop back up again. Let's have a look at the 15 minutes. See me wobbling around this sort of level here. It might pop back up again. Okay, we'll take a note of it. You should get it, but whatever. So you got the idea. Take a screenshot or whatever. Okay. Anyone disagree? Anyone want to buy it? You haven't been away that long, eh, Sean? Oh, sorry, it's Super D. Beg your pardon. Yeah. On the week, it's battling again above the 10 weekly. So yeah, happy with that. Good. And remember, guys, no pressure here. It's a certain lady's birthday today. It's the big round 7. So this thing better work. Final buy. Okay. Happy birthday to Mr. Murray. You want to buy it? Okay. If you're serious, do you want me to put up a buy order in the risk calculator? Okay. Where do you want to put the stop? Put the TP slightly high if you want to go to a buy. Maybe a stop a little bit wider down here. Still get a pretty good. Put it down here. Make it about there. Does that suit you? If you're happy with that, I'm going to put a buy order down here. I've got the sell order down clearly, but I'll put the buy order down and see which one works out. There we are. At market, okay, 9107, 9018, 9320. Just write that down, excuse me a second. Great, so let's just see how that works out. I quite like it we get that. Jeff's not with us at the moment, but we get some guys want to buy, some guys want to sell. Let's see if it works out. Yeah, iffy. Okay, fair enough. All of it, not I'm not sure it's volatile. Well, it could be. I think more lean towards not so much volatile as indecision. That's very difficult. I mean, as I say, I go through this stuff every single day, and yeah, look what happened yesterday. It came down on the Nasdaq. Let's go to the Nasdaq quickly. I'm not this off. Go to the Nasdaq quickly. Came right down here to about 11.5, as mentioned, and then popped back up again. Dollar week seems the name of the game, but every time it comes off a bit, a few buyers come in. Very, very difficult. I tell you what, it seems to be a little bit of a play between the Hawks and the Doves. In other words, the how I put it. Morning, Mark. You guys find it quite difficult at the moment, to be honest. It's mainly fundamental indecision. Yeah, volatile, not sure, whatever, jumping around. It's basically, look at that, look at that. Lack of direction, goes down, pops back up. Or on the daily, it's back up here again. Will it break through to the upside? I don't think so. Actually, to be honest, I think it's a good chance of a short here. Yeah, I will do short, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I personally think it's a bear market. The big recession word is discussed but not sort of admitted to. Yeah, discussed it many times. I think short the rally, it's bounced back up again. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go back up here. But yeah, so actually, I think that's gone back up again to short. Should we do it in that? Should we do an S&P? If you want to look at that, it's an index. Brady there, by the way. Not sure he's there. Can we talk about the rand dollar? Yes, yeah. Brady, yeah. Did you get in the? It dipped below on the rand dollar, just below 17.1. Did you took the long on the rand dollar? Sorry, the dollar rand. Beg your pardon. You dip just below. Remember 17.10 dip below. I think you might get some upside there. Okay, S&P. It's a bit more affordable to most than the Nasdaq, so you missed it. Well, I think you might be able to chase it here, actually. NAS, I think so, yeah. I'm looking at NAS to sell, but the only problem with the NAS is a lot of people don't have enough money to do it because you need, clearly, as I mentioned again, well, you need a balance to be able to do it. So a lot of guys who don't have that balance can look at the S&P as an index to short instead. Okay. Technically speaking, I think that's a short, but I prefer the Nasdaq, to be honest, but yeah. Okay, maybe move along because yeah. Look at bounced around. We looked at a couple of stocks yesterday. KO started to get a profit and bounced up again. F stock, same story, jumping around, almost like a pivot point jump around. Gold, by the way, I think it just, yeah, I think it did, yeah. By the way, the second gold, no, I thought got the 1750. Yeah, just about got the 1750. 1950, beg your pardon, 1950. So I think the second gold trade did hit the TP. That's a bit of good news. Anyone still held on in there? The KO1 doing fine and inside a jump. Where's K? Here we go. Did just fine, dropped right down where we're on the daily, yeah, right, dropped right down here and then bounced straight back up again. This is really yo-yo stuff. Okay, so difficult to call. Yeah. Okay. Right. So anything you'd like to talk about? Anything you'd like to look at the moment? Because the GBP NZD is about the best I can come up with personally at the moment. And finally, actually thinks so long. So that's how it's difficult it is. There's no consensus on either direction. Got stopped out in the end, and it came into a nice profit. Unbelievable. Now you're seeing how this indecision, which is fundamentally driven going forward, is so difficult. On that subject, look at the fundamentals. US dollar again today, 3:30. Durable goods, GDP, which is important, and of course the weekly jobless and new home sales coming out. So there's quite a few coming out as well. It's not making the life easier. So sorry, Anna Marie, happy birthday, but wrong. We need to get one very good trade out. Okay. Which is which one? Let's see. Let's try this one. No, look at that indecision again. CAD CHF. That did okay, by the way. I think if you guys took that, it's doing okay. Anyone in the CAD CHF is a short? Yeah, it's just total indecision. I mean, as mentioned many times in the past, in the past it was technical analysis and it worked out pretty well once you knew what you're doing. But at the moment, the indecision is, even if you know what you're doing, I mean, you can flick a coin and something happens. It's yeah. Okay, Aguna. Okay, well, if you are, I think again, protect yourself. I mean, I can do this in the past. I used to leave the stop and hope the TP, and then maybe I'd hit the TP or I'd manually exit. But now I'm much more, and we're risking actually getting stopped out with a small profit after being a decent profit. But protection to me is the name of the game at the moment. So according to this one here, 6912 was the entry. So I don't know if you actually modified your stop, but I think you should do maybe around 69 figure, or even a bit lower if you want to protect yourself. Warren, same story. I think protect yourself. I mean, a good example, just discussed there, KO, Coca-Cola, doing just fine and pops up again. Completely beyond control. And it's difficult for a new guy to understand this because they spend time getting knowledge and studying, etc. But yeah, it's to me a little bit like you're driving properly and somebody jumps the lights in front of you. It's not your fault, you still have a car smack. That's just 20 pips, that's good enough, yeah. At least 20 pips distance, yeah. It'll be annoying, it comes up, stops you out and shoots on down again. But I think rather that than you know, taking a loss, obviously. Okay. You can look at it, Brady. And actually, before we do that one, so I want to give AD CAD before we go to German 30. I think more people are familiar with it. So I'll just jump the gun a little bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not sure I want to chase it here. See what I mean? I'm not sure you want to. Do you want to chase it here? Personally, I think that ship sailed. Sorry about that. I think it's that ship sailed. Are we going to get much follow through on the Canadian weakness? I think that's probably a lot of it's been discounted the markets from yesterday. So yeah, okay, so we'll move on. If we go NZD CHF, 1130, that's right. Yo, look at that as well. Buy zone, indecision. Do I think fundamentally it's overcooked? It might come off. Yes, I do. Try the daily. Yes, I do. Look at that last week or so. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, practically 2 weeks, complete indecision. Look at that. Look at that. You see what I'm going about the candle. Just quick look at it, and immediately you can see you don't know where you want to go. You're Joburg now, where you want to go to Durban or Limpopo. It's just indecision. Sorry, guys, I can't see one there. Want to get a good birthday one out here. Maybe this will come to the party finally. What do you want to do with this one? I see a sell there. Anyone see a buy or a sell? What do you see, guys? If anything. Yeah, you might be right. Too scared. Well, I still see a sell there. If you want to move on to AUD CHF, I'm not sure I want to buy the S&P at this stage. I sell around. I'm sticking with that, by the way. You happy with that, Mr. TM? Okay, right. So how far is that? Yeah. How far is that? Yeah. Out the way there. We can do it. I have to say, I like this one. Who's idea with this? I quite like it. Chamber tune, I really like it, so I quite like it. That's what it does to you. Ah, fun. Yeah, I like it, finally. Put it right out of the way there. Just getting rid of this for a second. When was it last there? Last there back in August. What's that now? 4 or 5 months ago. That's not too bad. And TP down here. 58.16. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on this, guys, but I have to say, Meneer Murray, I like it. What do you think? Actually, I must admit, I do like this one. And the stop's out of the way. So it reaches that stop loss. It's something gone badly wrong with the Swiss franc. Okay. Okay, so that's good enough. Okay, Brady, anyone want to join Brady on this one and myself? And Farney, your idea, you got to do it, Farney. This is a birthday one, so this has got to be right, okay? $59.50 and 60.36. 58.16. Good stuff. I've got it down there. We like it. Good stuff. Right. Should we dedicate to Anne-Marie? So the only question, Anne-Marie, are you going for it? Ah, great minds think alike. As the words came out, you typed it. Good stuff. Right. I'm just going to copy and paste that. They might like this one on the, just say, send that to everybody. Just give me a second. I'd like to say dedicate this to Anne-Marie, but should I say Mevrouw Vandenberg, trying to get that right, but they probably will know what I'm talking about, so I'll just leave it. Anyway. Okay, let's see how that goes. Iffy. Okay. All right, then here's one for you, Mr. Slabbert, Meneer Slabbert. Which is not iffy? There's one. Which one is not iffy? But I take your point, but I still think the Swiss franc is undervalued. I think it's got to come to its own. Okay, fair enough. Right. Yeah. Index, go back to, I can knock that off. Go back to the index again, S&P, someone to buy it. No, I leave it. Leave it. No, leave it. Zeph's joining us. He might come up with something as well. We've got 2 out, so that might not be too bad. Well, that's the point. Finally went along. See if he's right. Jumping around, neither at the moment. Okay, NZD USD. What do you want to sell that? Wow. Was it yesterday? So I'm a bit wary of the dollar, so I might have to be honest. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. As mentioned a few times in here, I see a bit of. I think the index is going to come back to 100. Every time it pops up, the sellers come in. I would not be selling it as yet. And I'm too scared to buy it. Look on the weekly. I see the chart. I get you. I see technically as well, the sellers come and defend this sort of area here. Any more weakness in the dollar, it's going to go up. I wouldn't be selling it now. Waiting for resistance. Where's that? 150 pips away. It's a long way to go yet. Yeah, I wouldn't go for it now. No. I'm too scared to buy it, but I'm certainly even more scared to sell it. Yes, I do. Getting back to trend line, I use a daily, by the way. Just think about that. Use a daily. I don't use a lot of trend lines because, as I mentioned before, I agree with you, Zeph. I don't use trend lines very much. The reason is because so many people out there put it in different places. Not saying wrong or right, different places. Some use the wick, some use the body, some jump across. I mean, in theory, I'll give you an example what I mean by that. The trend line here, in theory, should be the nearest low. That's just taking it out, so it should be there. But people will put it there. You know what I'm saying? Or they'd use the body and put it there. So all in different places. So there's too many different attitudes as to where to put the trend line. I used to do it a hell of a lot, but I've slackened off on it for a while for that reason. Fibonacci, again, I like it, but remember which high do you use? Go back in time here, you could use this high, or that high, or that high, etc. So yeah, I use a backup. So GBP CHF, do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm wary of the trend line. And I'm not talking about people just started, I'm talking about people who've done it before for a long time. They'll swear by using the body, and I will swear by using the wick. You get the idea. So when we put it on there, we're psychologically attuned to relate to it, and that might be in the wrong place, and you wonder what's going on, if you know what I mean. Yeah, the moving average, quickly go through that. 200, 50, those two are the most used in all traders. This one is pretty well used. Where's the black line on that one? There we are, the black line on there. That's used a lot, but these two are main users. This is my particular choice. So yeah, those are four I use. Okay, Anna-Marie. Okay, fair enough. Hope it works out for us anyway. GBP CHF. So let's that up again. What do I see immediately there? The 100. I put in. I haven't used it for a while, but I put in probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I quite like as an extra one, but it's not as predominantly used as a 200 or the 50. Is that right or wrong? No, it's just self-fulfilling. If a lot of people use it, that's why I've got them in there. But so on there is the 100 is the black line. And the 10-day is the magenta line. All simple. Whether you like the 100 or the 10 is entirely up to you. You might like a 15 or a 20, but I'm just saying the 50 and the 200 is incredibly universally used, so rather have them on there. And I said, the reason being, it's not going to be right or wrong again, it's self-fulfilling. Okay, where were we? My immediate take on this one is, again, back to the old story, it's like a stuck record we have at the moment, is indecision. Look at yesterday's candle. Look at yesterday's candle. Look at the day before. Whoops, look at the range here. Only a 60 pip range. It's about 100 pip range. Maybe look at the trade in the range, but even that's not good enough. Now it's 10 hours old, today's candle, and look at that. Doesn't know whether you want to go up or down. You see why I like you see what I'm going on about? Take out all the noise and the indicators and all the science and all the rest of it. It's what the sellers and buyers, or buyers and sellers, are doing. But buyers and sellers don't know whether they want to go to, you're in Joburg, by the way, whether you want to go to Durban or Limpopo. They don't know. And they sit in the car and they're arguing. I quite like that analogy. It's frustrating, just the way it is. Okay. Okay, right. Roger, no. Simple. Simple moving average. I'm going to be honest with you, Warren, I've never used the triple exponential. Never. I've used the exponential, but not so much now. Simple. Again, it's always not right or wrong. Some people swear by it, but I found, well, get a couple of bad ones we know lately, but I found overall that works quite well for me, as you see it on the chart there. Easy to read, maybe because I'm used to it, and takes a lot of the over scientific price by analysis out of it. So I can look at a chart now. Can JPY? Thank you. Just look at that, for example. I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm going to go and look at it now and see what I mean. Immediately, I see immediately the sell zone and again indecision. Immediately, see what I mean? I took one look at it, and that's my opinion. So, do I want to go buy or short it? Don't know. What now? Next thing you want to go, what about the range? Let's do the range to here to here. It's quite a decent range. Always check the range. Do I think it's going to pop up from here? Yes, I do. How far? 95 pips. Stop down here. Yeah, you might be able to squeeze one, a more aggressive one. Yeah, you find finally that if the NAS and the Dow and the S&P go up or down, not exactly in sync, but the others tend to follow. Yeah, I've mentioned that before. We follow the American, whether we like it or not. Their culture, what they do, their trend setting, everything. Mind you, in my opinion, because they control the information source. So yeah, we would do. But anyway, that's another story. We mentioned it before many times. Okay. Yeah, funny enough, more look at it. I think it might be an aggressive trade here. Stop down there, TP up there, an aggressive trade. I have to find that down before I forget it. Sorry. You want to go long, okay. Yeah. I must admit, I see a possibility. Let's do the 4 hour. 4 hours hanging on there. 4 hours not moving too bad. Seem to be holding on the 4 hour. It's jumping around a bit of a range. Yeah, I quite like this one. For an aggressive trade. What do you think, guys? Put it up and there you have a look at it. Quite like this. Just put it slightly below there. And we'll take the TP up here. 97.78. It's a squeeze in the risk to reward, but I have to say, for an aggressive trader, I quite like it. Any comments? 80 bucks, 85 rand a micro. What do you think? It's holding the 10-day. The stop is below it. Even for an indecision kind of trade, I've been going on about indecision. Indecision within that range, you might be able to profit out of that indecision. I'm honestly, Carol, I quite like it. Anybody else keen? Aggressive, remember? Any comments? Anyone like it? Okay, Gerard, put your money where your mouth is, good man. Anybody want to join Gerard? And myself, to be honest, but never like that. Don't say okay, fine. Good enough. Just write that down. Hang on a second. 96, 9614, 9778. Okay, good enough. Right. No, sure. I know about just cutting it off or not. What's going to survive on natural gas? As I mentioned, Qatar's actually, okay, how do you pronounce it? Qatar, whatever. It's got large supplies, which they have pushed it in there. Yeah, they've offered money to it. Don't worry about Putin. Sure, don't worry about it. That I hate to say, I think Putin's yesterday's news. Sorry, Vladimir, if you're hearing me. I'm sorry, mate. Yesterday's news. Okay. Yeah. So I'm getting 3 hours. Let's have a quick check on the GBP/NZD. Have you all got that one? If you want it, I've got it written down. If you want to come back to it, GBP/NZD. Anything happening there? Coming off, look, might get a bit of noise here. To be fair, it's got a breakthrough here. You can sit a few hours, but at least it's coming off. 20 we got in. It's in profit. Oh, yeah. Don't get too excited now, Roger. The old sticker's getting a bit excited here. NZD/THF. Gone up a couple of pips, but that's virtually even Steven. We've just gone the cash APY. Okay. Yeah. CAD CHF. That's CAD CHF. Some guys are in it, still hovering on that, so you should be in profit there anyway. That's good. Some guys went AUD USD sell. I was against it. Some guys went to it, so we'll check it for you. Came off, went up. Now we'll be back. What I'm waiting for, we're on a 4 hour. No, range trade that, a buy or a sell, we'll leave that. Okay, sorry guys, just looking around there trying to find something else. Okay, yeah. Is that right? Okay, he's going to cut it off. Well, if that's the case, the sounds increased production and the other pipelines will be opened. This is a sign of, to be honest, in my opinion, a desperate man here. We're not as reliable as you. It's enormous oil reserves there, but big oil reserves elsewhere. So I wouldn't get overexcited on that one. Okay. Okay. Okay, you said you missed it, Brady. Now, remember, if you want to go into the exotic, you need a bit more money because the costs are higher and the marginal deposit is higher. But I do see upside here. So those can afford it, those can understand it. You understand what I'm talking about when the costs are higher, the margin is a little bit higher. What about this? Because it's possible to buy on this one. I know the dollar's come off a bit, but I think the rand is the weaker of the two. Anyone like to look at this one? Some exotic trade, as they say. I know Brady quite likes it. Nothing's a possibility here. I hear about the broker cost. Yeah, 20 pips is hectic, or 90 to be fair. It's hectic, but I'm not sure you mind paying over the top of a particular product if it shoots to the roof from an investment perspective. So yeah, at least as long as aware of it. That's also true. Also true. And it's got to have. That's the idea, because it's supposed to be on the volatile side. Just about everything is at the moment, but yeah. Okay, Brady, so you'll do a 50-50 later on. Okay. I presume you work your stop loss out TP. Okay, do you want to leave this, guys? Okay, we'll leave it then. Leave it alone. Okay, Mark, good stuff. Right. Anything else you want to discuss? Oh, yes, I'm going to put the do it every time. I want to make sure. Yeah. Just give me a moment. Put the DXY up for everybody. Try and make a habit of doing it for some people who don't have it. And economic calendar. As I say every time, you can filter it. I might have made one or two left out. As Fardy said, he's got a couple of 2 stars in there. Can be useful. Up to you. But at least you got it to play with. Okay. Leave it alone, Anne-Marie. Okay. Right. If you see spot another trade, great stuff. Who's the author? Who's the author? Oh, sorry, missed that. I'm just scroll up there. Okay. Okay, I haven't read the book, but I've obviously heard about these guys. I think they made it. You might correct if you're reading it. It's pure. It's pure corruption, basically. There's not an Abramovich out there who's not got his finger in some sort of corrupt pie. AUD, GBP, sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. Certainly, yeah. I forgot. Sorry, let's put a GBP AUD up. Sorry about that. I missed it. Somebody talking about it. All right, AUD CHF. What do you want to do with this one? Do you want to buy it? Do you want to sell it for long? AGB AUD for long. I do beg your pardon, 10B. Yeah. Right. Weekly sell. Weekly sell. Agreed. Bit of range trades there. Don't know. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Remember, Putin's not just power from the fact he's the big boss there; he's also financial power. But it's like, what is it? World Economic Foundation, with all gathering Davos. These guys there are the billionaires, control movement shakers, same sort of principle. Okay, AUD CHF, I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to sell it? I don't know. It popped up, came off. I get you. It's trying to move. I don't know. Too much. I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's the best way I put it. If we're going to Putin, anyone want to do a buy or sell on this one? I've stated my case. I'm going to leave it alone. Anybody like the buy or the sell on this one? Write that down. good enough. Yeah, well, still ditch, yeah. Okay, we'll leave it then. Now, what makes you think Mr. Shear is in the IT business? That looks quite good. I like that. These are useless figures. Are you talking about the oligarchs now, or what? Well, the corrupt, powerful, but useless figures, if you like. Okay, AUD, GBP, AUD. I think it's Temby said that, wants to buy it. Let's have a look. Not telling me anything. Bit of a range trade, I suppose, in the weekly. It might bounce back up again. See you take your point. 4 hour goes up, comes off again. Again, sorry about, I don't know. Emery, yeah, I like it. I can't see a buy on that one. If anything, I look at a sell, to be honest. I think I'd rather be selling it, but I see too much indecision. Anybody see a buy or a sell? I don't see either. Look at that at the moment, can I just before I move on? Anybody? I think it was Temby's idea. Anybody like the look of this one? Okay, we leave it. Okay, so I need a bit of feedback. Yeah, agreed. I agree. I'm back the AD at the moment. Yeah, agreed. Okay, GBP JBY. This is also a buy. Is that Gerard? I'm not too sure about that. No. Sell zone right up against, not quite, I suppose there's a bit more up there. How far is it? 80 pips up there. It might go further up. Yeah, I'll give you due. It might go there. So just put a stop in down here. You won't get a risk reward. And it's right at that area. There's a bit of resistance there. If you look at it across there. I think it's a sell at these levels here. That's what I think. Look at Euro CHF in the moment. But yeah, okay, so you're happy with that. Anyone disagree? I would sell that round about where the crosshair is rather than buy or sell at the moment. We're happy on that? Come back if you're not sure. Okay, EURCHF. You wanted to buy this. Well, let's look at it again. You see where I'm coming from, guys? In the buy zone, it's the bottom of the range. It tried to break through. The buyers came in. Tried to break through. The buyers came in. We're going to take it to. Let's look at the weekly. That seems to be holding. Not ideally. Look what happened yesterday. Not ideally. That's the worry. If this was here, I would say absolutely. Take it up there. No follow through. Technically, no follow through. I think Euro's strong, but I think the Swiss is oversold. I wouldn't be too keen on this one. Sam, get more. Ooh, hang on. Don't want to say I married that WSCHF, but look. So you might be all right. I'm a bit nervous just taking a switch against the Japanese. Anyway, I'll come back to it. Yeah, no follow through. We're going to put the stop down here somewhere. I can't see the trade there. Anybody see the trade there? I be honest, I cannot. It's trying to hold above the 50. I get that, but the sellers are not happy and the buyers are not happy. Okay, Mark. Fair enough. Okay, CHFJPY. Telling that one be interesting. Gold long. Let's go back to gold in a moment. Does it come off again? Gold, that is. Okay, you want to sell the Swiss franc on the weekly? I'm not too sure about that. On the daily, it's indecision yesterday. It comes off. How far does it come off? 70 pips and the buyers come in. 70 pips enough. You need about a 30, 40 pip stop. To me, that's a bit close when you enter the trade. If you want to sell it, you've got to put the stop up here. At 70 pips, you have to look at least 110. You can maybe take it to there on the sell. No. I personally, can we get some direction on the Swissy against the Japanese yen? I would leave it. The range is too tight. Sorry, make sure I've got the figures right here. Yeah, okay. Right, I would do that. I would buy it if it comes back. We only did yesterday, around about the 140.60. I think it's. I know it's in the sell zone. We've talked about many times. I think it's begging to go up, and every time it comes off, the last few days, the buyers have come in. So I agree not to short it. Or it's a range trade. You might, if you get the maths right, do a calculator. If you find a risk reward is going to be worthwhile, and set it back down again, it might, from a range trade perspective. I personally would rather buy it off where the crosshair is, stop down here, maybe a 60 pip stop, and then take it back up here. You'll definitely get a nice risk reward. I'd rather buy the pullback. Ship might have sell. We'll look at it again in a moment, Pietro. You're looking at short as well. We're talking gold or this one. Let's stick to this one. My opinion, my taking it by the pullback, I wouldn't be selling it here. And if it does pull back, why don't we think it's going to pull back, which I hope it will do? Why not take advantage of it? If you can get the risk worthwhile the reward, sure. I don't really follow horse racing much, but look at the odds. If you bet odds on, is it worth it? You're betting 10 to make 5. Is it worth it? Even though it's a heavy favorite, is it worth it? Okay. Anybody? I'm hang on in there. Any comments on this one? Does anybody want to sell it, or do you want to buy the retracement or break above the 200? Great. Okay. That's good to hear. It's in blue. Good stuff. I like it. What have we got down? We come to that. Gold. Okay, gold. Okay, you want to sell it? I disagree. I would rather buy the pullbacks. It's a strong uptrend. You can clearly see it. It's not just based technically, but fundamentally as well. Will it pull back a bit? It could well do that. The extent of that pullback is a guess. We don't know. So rather miss out, or if it does come back, we've done it twice, it's hit the TP on both occasions with buying the pullback rather than getting cute on selling it. I'm going to stick with that. That's my opinion. Wait tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just seeing. Look at two screens. Yeah, finally we're on the same page there. Buy the long, absolutely go, buy the pullback. Where the horizontal line is back to 1920. If we get that, we can do another one up. I personally think it's going to take up 1950 sometime, but it's back in the moment. Doesn't matter. You're out at 1950. That's where you can always get in again if it breaks through that. The stop below, maybe target 97. You get the risk reward correctly. But at the moment, no, I would wait for a pullback. I wouldn't. To me, that's really going against a strong trend. Yeah, or even 1925, you can get it. But yeah. You're all with me on that. I just want to make sure I was clear on that. If you think it's going to pull back, I'm saying I hope it's going to pull back. If you hope and think it's going to pull back, why not sell it? $15 to maybe make a $5, $10 pullback, which may or may not occur. There's not enough meat on the bones for a sell. Rather buy that, and I personally hit it twice. Assuming be patient, wait for the pullback, and soon you get a third time. Twice that's it in the last couple of weeks or so. The gold trades hit the TP. That's not bad going. Okay. Anyone disagree? No comment. Okay. Right. US dollar, Swiss franc. You happy with that? Good. Did you know me? You agree? Hopefully. Right. Do you want to chase it now? I haven't seen a breakthrough to chase it. Do I still see a bit of dollar weakness? Yes, I do. But I think it might get a bit of bounce before it comes off again. I mentioned many times, I think it's going to get to 100 or even just below on the DXY, but it's still hovering around a little bit there. Anything fundamental? I think something coming out maybe tomorrow on that. Oh, sorry, never mind tomorrow. Look at the day. Durable goods orders, GDP, that's important. Initial jobless claims, again important. New sales, reasonably important. So we've got 4 coming out later on at 3:30, which is what, 5 hours time. Do you want to preempt that by chasing it down there? I don't think so. Yes, that's correct. It's Thursday, didn't it? Yeah, about 3:30, I think. Probably 0.5%. Might go 75, maybe not. I'm not sure. I was dead to say I live here as much as America. So big interest rate rise. I can't know how to say that, but very, very, very high probability. The question is what? 50 or 75 basis. I can't make mine up which is going to be. Well, if expected 50, it'll be a slight strength in the rand. 75 will be a bit more strength in the rand. The lowest discount in the market. But I don't think it's going to be sustained. It might have a bit of a jump and then we'll go back to weak again. It's actually, to be honest, more about the dollar on the Swiss, on the rand at the moment. There's too many fundamental problems with South Africa, financially speaking, that is. Far too many. It's getting close to anarchy and not being able to fix it. Yeah, agreed, Jeff. Absolutely agree. A little bit of bounce around the way down. A bit, just same principle of gold. Bounces up, profit taken, falls back, and then you buy it again. Same thing the other way around. It's not tradable on here, but it's a tradable instrument. So if you had it to trade, sell the rally rather than buy it. Opposite to gold. It's that opposite. Tell you right now, it's massive debt, massive overspending by the current administration, and a lack of faith in the dollar from an importer's perspective of trading in that specific currency. In other words, I want to buy your product, Mr. Uncle Sam, but I don't want to pay in dollars. I want some assets other that's going to likely hold the value. Remember, if I know about the printing press and the Fed, these guys do. And yeah, there's about 4 coming out later. Yeah. Take my point. So yeah, I wouldn't chase it. I wouldn't do anything with it at the moment. I wouldn't buy it or sell it. I certainly wouldn't chase it at the moment. Unless you feel lucky. Remember, I go back to decent. Do you feel lucky, or do you? Then you can buy or sell it and take your chances. Absolutely, Zed. Absolutely. Well, I've mentioned before, they call it the federal because that's a marketing tool. It sounds like some sort of democratically elected sphere of the government. It's not to do with a central bank owned by extremely wealthy, clever entrepreneurs come together and controlling the interest rates, the bonds, you name it. You talk about corruption with the oligarchs. It's economic corruption at the top. It's power. I've never had that kind of power, and I've never had heroin. But I'm going to take a bet. Power seems to be more addictive than heroin. Okay, if you want to scalp, or do you want to do maybe before coming out, we're going to buy stop, sell stop if you want. I prefer the CPI. GDP is important, the CPI and the jobs is fairly important, or the jobs report on one monthly jobs report. But if you want to have a go at it, try maybe a buy stop, sell stop. Depending which instrument you use, a couple of pips above, a couple of pips below, whatever. Yeah. Hear you. Once it gets regulated, that's the new way to go. I agree with that. Which instrument? Which instrument? If you're doing something like the euro dollar, yeah. If you're doing the NAS, probably a little bit more. The NAS probably. I normally say 30. Try 25. Laugh out loud, yeah. Just think where we're waffling back and forth. Hey, some guys there, man, what the hell we're on about? Anybody out there wonder what the hell we're on about? I can explain. Anybody not sure? I can explain. We haven't got any particular trade ideas coming. We should put in the chat line. I haven't got them, so we can explain. Anybody out there, you've got to put your hand up and say, "What are you talking about?" And I'll explain what we've just been toing froing about there. If anyone's not sure. It's worth asking if you're not sure. It might be an extra tool in your armory. If you got the Tom, that is. Not for tiny accounts, to be honest. No's responding, so maybe more confused, or they know already. I don't know which one it is, but okay. They'll respond if the question is there. Right, you did mention a couple of trades we've got out at the moment. So someone said Peter, I think it was in the blue. Let's see, it's still in the starting blue, jumping around there. NZD CHF. GBP NZD, that's the one. That's hovering. Okay, GBP NZD. That's the one I think was sent out. What are we getting at? Again, I've forgotten. Some of you running around here. 91.20. Little bit in the, it's jumping around. Little bit in the blue. Okay. Okay, yeah, could well happen. That's guesswork. I prefer the buy stop, sell stop. Yeah. I mentioned quite clear, I agree on Zeph. I say overall weakness coming through to get more stabilized in the most powerful economy on the planet. Yeah, it could be a short-term jump. Look at the NAS yesterday. Came off nicely and then jumped. I'd rather go for the straddle trade, basically, as mentioned. Okay. Anything else we've got? CAD JPY was a buy. What are we getting at? 96. Got my right in there, 78, I think it is. 96.78. Try and get the right and read it there. Scrub it down so quickly. Aha, up a couple of pips. Don't get excited, guys. Just up a couple of pips. Slight blue there. Aha, yeah. Well, it depends on your golf swing. So I don't know if anyone took that one. At least it's up a couple of pips. GBP is slow, but it's up a couple of pips. NZD-CHF is down about 4.5. So yeah. NZD-CHF, that is, yeah. Okay, yeah. Right. Covered that. So the fund is later on. Yeah. Yeah, we could do, yeah. I agree. But we don't know how the result's going to be. As we mentioned about the straddle trade, we can look at that if you like. As I say, I normally like CPI or the on farms to do it, but with 4 coming out at the same time, there might be conflicting, might get a bit of a whiplash effect. But yeah, you try that if you like, but don't overdo it with your balance. Make sure your risk reward's okay. And don't forget, if one's taken in, don't forget, first thing you do is delete the other one. The last thing you want to do is it whiplashes you in both sides with a big spread, cost, etc. It won't do you any favors. Okay. Any question, guys? You know, there's a lot of guys in here at the moment. Yulen, Dirk, Dieter, a few guys in there. Are we all on the same page? Any questions? Something you're not sure about? Please do so. We're here to help as well as, you know, we've got intermediate, advanced, beginners, etc. It's for everybody. Par, I like that. We've got a par in there. Any question, guys? Or you've got a bit of a headache? Or you're catching on? Anyone some sort of explanation on? You're fine, Dirk. Okay, you're all good. Good stuff. Okay, right. At the moment, I've run out of stuff to say, read the trading particular ideas to go in or out. So any questions on the charts, how to save them, specification to see what the margin is, the contract value, normal stuff I go over if you're not sure about, because those areas we can do. What happens to CAD JPY up or down, as we know, that's out of our control, that's the market, but certain things we can control. And we don't want to make mistakes there where, you know, you're either overexposed, underexposed, or don't know what the margin is. I mean, I'll give you an example. I'm going to phone him after the trading room. The guy's upset because I think got margin call in the Dow. He's got about 400-500 account he went in the Dow. I didn't know why, what happened. Well, you don't go in the Dow, like I explained, with a tiny amount of money because volatility, large margins, wide stop, that sort of thing. So those areas, if you want with those basics, we can go over to clarify so you understand it, because, yeah, what can I say? Incorrect volumes, not understand the basics, the margin, the leverage, etc., needs to be understood. It is absolutely vital. I think Tembi's still there. Like I say, if you've got accounts in areas you mentioned there, contract values differ from platform and broker to broker. Some have a gold 100 contract, this one is 10. So don't forget 0.1 and 1 is equivalent to 1.0 in another one. Everyone know what I'm talking about then? Okay, hedges going right. You've bought the CAD JPY, okay, and you got a stop loss in, and you're worried about getting taken out, you still believe in the trade, you can widen the stop loss and then you increase risk. I assume you got the risk calculator. Remember from the live chat technical support. And you still believe in it, but you don't want to increase your risk because you think it's going to come off a bit more, but you want to hold on to the position. You'd hedge it by going opposite way around. Actually, it's going to let 30% personal cut. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So yeah, so you'd say, right, you'd take your stop loss and TP out, and you'd go an equal opposites. In other words, you got, let's say, 1 mini, 1 micro, whatever your position size is, equal volume by going the opposite way. So in other words, you bought this one here, it's coming down here, you still believe the upside, but you don't increase the risk too much. It's a bit hairy, this one, we hedge it. Increase the risk too much by modifying your stop down, so you might sell it there. The problem is it might come off and then bounce up. Now it's going right on your long, but your hedge, which is your sell order, will obviously be equal opposite in the other direction. The other problem is when you cut the hedge. In other words, you say, right, it's going on, I'm losing on my sell now, it's going back, so I cut it. So you already banked a loss on the sell, and the thing comes down again, but you haven't got your hedge back. I'm a bit iffy on that. I prefer options, but it's fairly complicated. We don't have them, where you just pay a premium. A hedge is the costs involved, the swap fees involved, and when do you put the hedge in? When do you cancel the hedge? It's not that easy. I think a lot of the time people hedge it is simply because they don't want to take the loss. They're too frightened to actually increase the risk by modifying the stop away from market, and to try and rescue themselves from a cycle aspect, not want to take the loss. In the end, it probably will, some of them come right, but a lot of the times they don't, it's increasing it. If that makes any sense. So GBP NZD, I think we got one out on that one, actually. We got that one. We got that one out. We got it, Letabella. We got that one out at 91.20 GBP NZD. We've got to sell on that one. It's got in at 91.20, as the signal said. You've been a bit of the blue at the moment. Okay, I'd rather just suffer the loss and get clever with hedging, Anne-Marie, to be honest. Okay, sorry, we got one out. Just check your it's been sent, so just check your MT5 mailbox or your sorry, not mailbox, sorry, the WhatsApp. It should have been sent to you, sent to everyone, including the VIP group. So you should have got that, and look at the entry and make sure, are you chasing? If you do chase it, is the risk reward in your favor? And you do the maths on that one. Okay. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, please ask, and I'll try and mention it again. Okay, Zeph, that's up to you, but I wouldn't encourage the other guys to get cute on the dollar at the moment. You're taking a shot, that's your money. I can't say, go on, guys, take a shot. Fortunately, where I'm sitting here, I'm saying do not take a shot. Slightly different sitting this side. It's not just your money, everybody else's. It's a responsibility. Taking a shot's not good enough. I'm sorry, guys, but no, it's got to be something a bit more than taking a shot. If it's my own money, maybe I'd agree. Probably do a straddle trade or something. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, I hear you, Zeph, but that's up to you. Okay, we can look at them if you like. Start with dollar yen. On the daily, yeah, anything could happen now. Dollar Swiss franc, we discussed that just now. Dollar CAD. Similar, for whatever reason, I'm not 100% sure why the CAD seemed to follow the dollar and vice versa. So again, indecision, look at that. I wouldn't touch either of them. See what the fund has come out with. If you want to take that gamble, which it basically is, go for your money, but I'm not going to advise that out here. Make sense? Sorry, Harold, I see NASA is going to let 30% personal cut. I'm sorry, I may be a bit thicky. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. Right. Any other questions? Because to be honest, I've run out of stuff. Yeah, we've got a couple of trades going at the moment. Quickly check again. Is the CAD JPY anything coming from that? Quickly review it. 96.81. No, it's a little bit profit, not much, very slow. NZD-CHF. Got a sell on that 59.50. Anything happening there? Very quiet. Up a couple of pips, nothing much to worry, but very quiet. And GBP NZD, we looked at that a moment or two ago, probably a similar story. Yeah, it's coming off a bit, which is good news, but very slow. Still not sure what you mean cutting. How do you mean? You mean cutting the trade? You can't do Microsoft, it's closed. Oh, laying off. How should you mean? Anyway, whatever. We can't do sealed opening, etc. We can't do much about that at the moment. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm sorry I've run out of stuff. Anyone want to ask any questions? Oh, well, yes, it is. I think it's been up for the last few months. In my opinion, it's been in denial. Yeah, absolutely real. It's in a democracy. Certain pills you don't want to give out because the public don't like it. They won't vote for you. But unfortunately, they've got to be done. They're a bit like ESCOM. ESCOM. It can be fixed, but the medicine to fix it is hectic. That's why everyone kicks it out of the way. I was thinking about the First World War as an analogy, if I'm not boring you. It could have been finished in 1916. It only carried on because the loser had very costly war, had to pay the reparations. And it carried on because neither side wanted to pay the reparations until they got the armistice in 1918, and therefore you got the Treaty of Versailles, which the Germans had to pay reparations. Look what happened to the ultra inflation and then the rise of Adolf Hitler because of those reasons. Yeah. If they both said, look, let's not be stupid here, us guys in power, let's have a bit of responsibility, let's call this thing off, and you pay your side, I'll pay our side, it could have been a different story. The guys don't want to do that. Same thing with ESCOM, same thing with all kind of power. Do a quick sort of, I don't know, a poll in the democracy to see whether they're interested in more in Prince Harry than unpleasant medicine, and they find out that specific area there, so they tend to stand up and make those nice noises. You know what I mean? Done over this before. I'm going to go on any further, but yeah. A great leader makes difficult decisions, hopefully with a moral aspect, but that's in the gone. It's not so much now. I'm sorry, guys. Looks like my wish is not quite come true. I do not start a trade because I'm going to apply this. Oh, good for you. You're going to apply this afternoon. See you tomorrow. I don't know if you went in, but I'll tell you what, Anna-Marie, if the trades we talked about, a couple of them here come right, tomorrow, if you're in with us, we shall see, and even if you missed out, at least it's happy birthday for the other people. How's that way of looking at it? Okay, well, shall we call it off then? It's about 10 minutes to go. I'm waffling a little bit, run out unless you want anything to look at, anything you need asking questions on. Yeah, great stuff. Birthday to you and enjoy it, of course. Any quick question before we leave, and then try and see if we can get some more action this afternoon. Okay, good stuff. As always, thanks for joining me. If you're not sure about something, don't be frightened. Write it down if you want to see it later on, and then just if you don't want to unmute, you can post on the chat line and see what we can solve it. Okay, fair enough. Thanks, Dirk. Okay, good stuff. I'll catch you later, guys.